We start over from the kickoff.
And we're rolling, Gator. Welcome back to the studio. Obviously, you caught off guard there. Huge applause.
Yeah, man.
That wasn't just for the fact that Top of the League podcast is back with a new episode available on iTunes and Spotify and all other platforms, and of course YouTube. But they're cheering because you're back in the studio.
I know, man.
It's been a while, Gator.
Yeah, that's what do they say? They love to hate me. You know, the crowd's going wild.
The crowd is going mad.
Yeah.
They're not sure if they love you or they hate you, but either way they react to you.
Yeah.
Perfect, right?
That's perfect for podcast.
That is kind of how WWE lives its life, right?
Yeah.
Who cares if you love Brock Lesnar or hate him once you tune into Brock Lesnar? Yeah. That's kind of the policy. Great to have you back, Gator. It's been a while. Had to send up the bat signal. Red came in to replace you last week.
That's a good backup.
Yeah, great backup. Yeah, he's very factual. And he came into the studio, we podded, we got our session in, and then he stuck around for about another 3 hours. And that is when the real podcast, if only I was recording then, that is when the real banter was going.
Oh, wow.
And it was all rugby. You know the way Red is.
Yeah.
A lot of it was rugby talk, which, once again, would have been great. Yeah. The only thing I'm noticing now is whenever I speak to someone, you know, they're always saying to me, off the record.
Yeah.
As if I'm going to report everything people say to me. It's kind of weird.
I get that too, but when people say that...
Oh, yeah, you respect it, yeah.
Like,
but I just kind of was talking with Red, and it's like, oh, so you're thinking of working out a lot? And he's like, yeah, off the record, I'm planning on doing this. I was like, mate, it's just the two of us in the basement. You know, you don't need to... But great to have you back here.
Sometimes you need to know something's a secret. Because I'll tell you something, I don't care if you tell people, but someone might tell you the same thing, and they might feel...
Sure,
yeah. So,
I guess they could just say, I would usually say, just between us.
When I know something's a secret, I can go down with the ship on it. But, you know, if I don't know you want that to be a secret, yeah. So,
Gator,
I'm fine with it.
Great to have you back. Crack open yourself a Miller High Life.
Crap, yeah. I was wondering why we keep screwing up the start of this.
Yeah, and tell me about your weekend.
So
all week, I guess. It's been a while since I've seen you.
We'll start about my trip. The first half I was in Charleston for a wedding. The guy got me into rugby.
Yeah.
He's getting married, and it was very 2019 wedding.
Okay.
There was...
what do you mean by that? What would be a way else you could describe it?
I want to break it down for you.
Okay.
Right? So there was 2 groomswomen, and then there was a transitioning... If I say anything wrong, it's because I'm ignorant. I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I'm trying to break it down from my point of view. So
exactly.
They called her a grooms... Or they called... I can't say the person's name. It was called a groomsman.
Yep.
It was... The person was born a woman.
Gator is sweating.
The person was born a woman.
Yep.
Was transitioning to a man.
Okay.
And it was a bridesman. Okay. So that was different for me because I've always been all dudes, all women. Simple stuff. So it got I was trying to be supportive and all this. So we had the rehearsal dinner,
right?
And everything was smooth.
Was this a same-sex marriage?
No.
Your friend was marrying a woman. Okay.
So we did the whole rehearsal. Everything was smooth.
No, you were in this wedding.
Yeah, I'm a groom's man.
You are.
I don't know all the terms anymore. So
no, you certainly are, man.
So we after the rehearsal dinner, we go to the sports bar watching the Sunday night football game.
Perfect.
Right? It was a Monday wedding.
Interesting.
A little odd, but we're going to a Sunday night.
I have been married. Weddings are cheaper during the week.
Yeah.
But Monday's a very peculiar option. Yeah. Usually do it on a Friday. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
get wild after.
Yeah.
So we're at the sports bar and we're all drinking and the crowd's starting to dwindle. It's me, the groom, the bridesman, and the bridesman's friend or boyfriend.
Okay.
This was definitely a man, but he was a little flamboyant. He was fabulous, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he took a liking to my shirt, and
So a homosexual known for their fashion, really your shirt was nice. Now, what were you wearing?
A nice little button down. Okay. So this guy,
short sleeve, floral. Floral was really in.
Short sleeve.
Yeah, show off the arms. Was it floral?
No, I'm not that fast.
Floral was really in 2019 summer.
So he comes up to me and he's like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt. Let me see it." I'm like, okay.
You can see it, yeah.
So he starts playing with my buttons.
Ooh.
Like that. He's got my buttons down. He's feeling me up. I'm like, what the hell? Right? Like, I'm feeling weird.
Yeah.
Right? So,
just kind of take the genders out of it.
Yeah,
slightly inappropriate. Yeah. Someone comes up and says, I like your shirt. And then they start to take your shirt off.
Yeah. So, I politely push him back or, say no thank you. It's cool. So they're like, all right, like, let's go to another bar. And I'm like, cool, there's no one else here. Like, it's just the 4 of us and the game's over. Let's go to a different bar.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we're going to go to a gay bar. Are you okay with that? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'd never been to one.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. It's 2019. I want to be woke.
Sure.
Right?
Woke. Brilliant.
So I was thinking a gay bar is just like a bar that we all go to, but everyone there is gay.
Sure.
Okay, that's the mindset I'm going in.
Yeah, sure,
right.
yeah.
Like
you could go into, we'll say, New York City, a Steelers bar.
Yeah.
Everyone's just in there.
Yeah.
But they're just, Steelers. They like the Steelers.
That's what I'm thinking I'm walking into. We come in.
So you're after leaving an environment, TVs on the screen.
Like typical sports bar.
Perfect.
And I'm thinking I'm walking into the same thing, only
less women, or if they are, they're with other women.
And I thought it was going to be like a little mix of gays and lesbians.
Yeah.
We walk in, all dudes. Still not a big deal.
Yeah.
But
you'd preferred a few females.
We went on drag night.
Oh, nice.
Right? So most of the people were dressed in very skimpy lingerie.
Yeah.
There was a Rihanna impersonator.
Yeah. She's huge in the gay community.
Nice. Right? And
Lady Gaga, was she represented?
Yeah, she was there.
The gays also love Lady Gaga.
Rihanna was able to, you know how guys move their
the bum cheeks.
Yeah, they did the bum cheeks like guys do their chest. So I'm like, it's a little uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So,
but you like Rihanna?
Yeah.
And you like a nice ass. What's the issue here? What's the issue, man?
Not that much hair on it.
Yeah.
So, there was this prop size man, like bigger than our props, but like smaller than D2 size prop man.
Okay.
Not fat, but like,
was he hairy?
Oh, so that's what I'm getting to this.
In the gay community, he would be considered a bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's definitely a bear, and he had like a bright yellow wig on, and I don't know what he was performing, and he had like red lingerie. And hairy chest, like hairier than like my chest.
Yeah, and they're all on stage, is it?
Yeah, but they come in the crowd.
Yeah, okay.
And just so happened, I was sitting on the.
You were front and center.
Yeah, and he came
just so happened.
He came up, and I guess he took a liking to me, and what you would consider a motorboat for a lady.
Yeah.
He did that, and my face went all up in his chest hair, and I panicked, and I just got up and left. I didn't know what the hell to do.
Yeah.
I was nervous, and I Googled hotel, because I knew we were within walking distance, walked to the wrong hotel, and then I came back to the gay bar to find out the name of our hotel, got the hell out. Because, the first gay guy hit on me, he was like, whatever, he's smaller, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
But, this dude was significantly bigger than me. So
my only question is, and not that it makes a difference, once again, sexual harassment is a thing.
Yeah, but if I did that to a chick,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, sexual harassment is a thing. But was this part of a show? Did everyone in the bar clearly could tell this is probably this guy's first time? Let's put him on blast, like a comedian. Is he?
I don't know.
But the guy who did that to you was performing.
Yeah. I was like a fish out of water.
Yeah, and I think they probably realised that. Yeah. I think they're kind of saying
blood in the water.
Yeah, like a bit of banter. Let's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it now, I think it's funny. But still, it's kind of uncomfortable. But you gotta do that thing to make yourself better people.
You do, yeah. You gotta embrace it. And then, how was the wedding?
The wedding was good. Pretty small.
The highlight was definitely the gay bar and all that. Just kind of an out of world experience.
Yeah, that was probably the thing that I'll probably remember.
Yeah, nice.
Out of that. And, my rest of the vacation was pretty cool. I went to Myrtle Beach.
Sweet,
enjoyed the weather. Checked out the sights.
Yeah, sweet.
The one thing I realized is I'm not used to, not many people calling me Gator.
Yeah.
So my best friend, his nickname's Stones. And
I thought Mossy was your best friend.
Okay, my second best friend, Stones, he was my old roommate, and he's like, I realized I get more miserable when I don't hear the name Stones. Because when people say my first or my last name, it's like they're demanding me to do something. Or it's my girlfriend bitching at me.
Yeah, it's a different environment. It's a work
Stones
environment.
Is like, here, chug this beer, or come on, let's play some video games.
Yeah, his alter ego.
Yeah, so when I'm hearing Gator, it's like we're drinking, we're talking rugby, all sorts of cool
You're one
shit.
of the boys.
Yeah. And
you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
When I'm, my first or last name, I'm getting chest hair rubbed in my face.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to be Gator.
You do, yeah. And
we haven't even got the rugby yet.
No, and completely off the record. Whenever you come in here, you'll always be Gator.
Okay. Good.
And Gator, I'm delighted to have you back. Like I said, I had to throw up the bat signal last week. Mm-hmm. Red stepped in. I'm pretty angry at you.
Why?
Who you recommended for the podcast?
Gary?
Yeah. Who is that guy?
You haven't met Gary? He wants to get into radio.
I know he wants to get into radio. He's never going to get into radio.
Why?
He was I was very... Talking about being out of your comfort zone, fish out of water. Me and Gary did not go well. Really? We vibe. Me and you, we vibe with good banter. Gary's a little bit of a weird guy. What age is Gary?
I have no idea.
He's about 4'2".
Are you serious?
He's very small.
I just talked to him on the phone. I thought he had a voice for radio.
Yeah. So obviously he came, had a big script of what we're going to do. And it's basically, listen, mate, just kind of what you do with me. Yeah. That's the match report. You just read that out and we'll have a little bit of banter. I just thought, I get on with a lot of people. I thought this would be great. I had to ask Gary to leave after about 5 minutes.
Are you serious?
I will actually release that audio at a later stage because a few people have been mentioning it's just really weird. Anyway, Red came in, he did a fantastic job. Anyway,
I'm sorry about Gary.
No need to be. Okay, so that was your weekend. Yeah. Fantastic. And I obviously had a busy weekend. A lot of research.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up close and personal.
Up close and personal, because as you know, big weekend of rugby. Mm-hmm. We really took the next step forward. And it was basically Forge Day. Up on the mountain, up at Philip Murray Playground, we had the game that everyone was anticipating. It was the D2 top of the league champs, Pittsburgh Forge versus Lincoln Park.
Did they bring their drummer?
They brought no one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They actually, one thing they did bring was a really good rugby performance. Okay. Obviously, this is the first game in the playoffs. It did finish Forge D2 27, Lincoln Park 17. So D2 Forge are progressing to the next round. We'll touch it on base on who they're going to be playing next weekend. But yeah, like I said, 27-17. It was a very close game. And I feel that the Chicago team really stepped their game up, knowing that this was a playoff game. They obviously played earlier on in the season. Once again, home advantage did fall to the Forge. And it was a lot more comfortable, that game. This game was a tight affair. It finished 27-17. But in the last, basically, play of the game, the Chicago team will really be kicking themselves. There was a nice little breakdown, and they were basically through on goal, through to get a touchdown, a try as they called it, and they just kicked it too far. Oh. It was a poor play, but if they had got that would have been a 27-14 final score. Didn't quite represent how close the game was, the 27-17, but we had 2 tries. It was a great day for the second rows. Lurch, as he's known, Andrew Chapman scored 2 tries, Gator, and Chris Austin, a monster of a man. Do you know who Chris Austin is?
I mean, I've never talked to him, but we're Facebook friends.
Are you really? Big boy. Big boy. Like, I always think of, Derek Neubauer, big lad. Sam Angelo, big lad. But this Chris Austin, I'd never really seen him before. Wow.
Yeah, he carries himself well. He's like a silver fox, man.
Because Lurch is very tall as well, isn't he? Like, when you look at Lurch, you're kind of thinking to yourself, probably not a rugby player, are you? He's just kind of that tall. You'd think running the whole field would be tough. Yeah. Just because obviously you always hear about the basketball players, their knees and their bodies kind of break down just because they're big feathers. But these 2 second rows, Andrew Chapman and Chris Austin, had man of the match performances. Probably was Andrew Chapman. There's a fantastic play. If there was a Miller High Life highlight, I'm going to put it down to Neil Reynolds. This was leading to Andrew Chapman's second try. Basically, Neil Reynolds gets the ball outside centre, and he maybe doesn't have quite the acceleration speed that other outside centres might. Maybe was he playing inside? I think he might have been playing inside. But he loves a stiff arm. He was literally running half the field, just stiff arming people. And they were trying to get him, and he would stiff arm away. And then they were trying to get him, and he would stiff arm them away. And that did finish with a try. It was a great performance. 3 kicks in total from Nuttall. Once again, you put it down in a decent position, that guy's going to get it. He scored 2 of the 4 conversions, and he also got a penalty try. So obviously, D2 Forge are looking really good, and they're going to progress, and they're going to be playing next week once again. It was a fantastic performance. It was followed up by the D4 team. They had a kind of an exhibition game against Cal U. And the only thing that I feel might be a little bit of a sour note in the Forge camp is, I was on the sideline. I went with a few of the South Pit lads, and there was a lot of familiar faces, Forge players who weren't even kitted out. They could have made a really good second team. And surely a lot of people were thinking, you know what, I've played a few minutes in D2 and I was a reserve. I never got on the field. There's a few people, and that's the hardest thing about such a big club, and I think me and you touched base with it with Bill. How would you keep everyone happy? They've obviously got probably 40 players who could have been showing up for that 15 starting positions. So obviously there was I got the impression everyone was doing the handshakes. I was still watching the game. There was a few people, I think, a few players still in their boots, a little bit disgruntled, kind of picked up their gear bag and kind of left. It's obviously tough, isn't it? That's the biggest issue. Yeah, a lot of mouths to feed. But congratulations to the Forge. They will be progressing. And then once again, they got home advantage.
Yeah, and Who are they playing? You know that?
I do. We can touch base